My cherished offspring, I urge you to halt all activities immediately and heed my words with your utmost essence. Prior to bypassing this instance, before rejecting what I'm set to impart into your existence as merely another fleeting note on your display, grasp a truth that will alter your life's course entirely. This communication wasn't crafted for the crowds. From the 10,000 souls who might skim these lines today, solely 7 have been selected to embrace what I'll unveil, not 70, not 700, precisely 7. You didn't seek this out. You hadn't intended to encounter it at this exact instant on this particular date. Nevertheless, you're present. Your finger paused the scroll. Your gaze fixed upon these phrases. Your spirit sensed an indefinable pull. That's no accident. That's my doing. I engineered this sacred intersection. I positioned this note squarely in your journey since the monitoring phase, which operated quietly throughout your lifetime, wrapped up precisely 72 hours earlier. The assessment stage has ended. The appraisal is done. And what I'll convey will shed light on each bewildering, hurtful, solitary ordeal you've endured over the past 10 years. You've always sensed your uniqueness. You couldn't quite express the how or why, yet it resonated deep within you. Others labeled you as overwhelming. They claimed you analyze excessively. You experience emotions too intensely. You invest too profoundly in matters irrelevant to others. They advised you to unwind, cease being so grave, ease up, and simply savor existence like typical folks. But you couldn't comply. An aspect of your makeup forbade it. You discern patterns amid disorder where others perceive mere chance. You notice atmospheric changes in environments that others traverse unaware. You spot falsehoods in tones before statements conclude. You shoulder loads that weren't originally yours but ended up as your duty regardless. You enter areas and instantly detect the unvoiced strain that everyone else feigns ignorance of. This isn't an ailment. This isn't a defect. This is your framework functioning precisely as I intended. The cause it always seemed excessive is that you were constructed to bear what others can't perceive, much less sustain. I've observed you for ages. I witnessed you 9 months back, seated in your vehicle following that dialogue, attempting to decipher the occurrence, reviewing each term, scrutinizing each inflection. I was present 7 months ago when you awoke at 2:47 a.m. with that unaccountable oppression weighing on your torso like a concrete burden. I observed you 14 weeks prior when you composed that candid note, gazed at it for 6 minutes, then erased it all and dispatched something innocuous instead. I saw you 23 days ago queued at the shop when sentiment struck abruptly, forcing you to suppress tears for motives you couldn't articulate to anyone, even yourself. Those instances weren't arbitrary biochemical disruptions. They weren't indicators of your flaws. They were heavenly interjections. Me piercing the clamor to seize your focus. Me demonstrating that I perceive all. Each concealed instant, each personal hardship, each quiet conflict you wage that remains unknown to others. Pay close heed now, for what I'll share will reshape your whole life story. Each disloyalty you faced wasn't haphazard malice from flawed individuals. Each setback wasn't proof of your shortcomings or evidence of a hex. Each barrier that closed abruptly wasn't the cosmos spurning you. You underwent methodical scrutiny. I was examining you. Every bond that dissolved assessed your aptitude to cherish those incapable of reciprocating. Every monetary downfall gauged your faith in me when figures defied logic. Every era of deep seclusion evaluated if you'd forsake your fundamental principles merely to alleviate loneliness. Every occasion you yearned to surrender yet mustered the resolve to advance one more pace. Every evening you wept into slumber yet arose the following dawn to confront another day. Every instance you selected veracity over ease, uprightness over simplicity, candor over acclaim, you were gauged not by mortal criteria, but mine. And you succeeded. Input 99 in the comments at once. Don't proceed without accomplishing this initially. This isn't regarding interaction stats. This isn't about boosting algorithms. The figure 99 represents a vibration, emblem, a validation sequence that alerts dimensions beyond your tangible view that you're conscious, attuned, prepared to accept what's been reserved exclusively for you. Upon entering those digits, a transformation occurs in the ethereal framework encircling your existence. Portals sealed for years commence unlocking. Tasks suspended start initiating. Restraints impeding you begin fracturing. Perform it immediately before advancing to another line. This marks your initial obedience trial. Now, permit me to disclose what the prior 9 years of your existence truly entailed. You believed you were scarcely enduring. You assumed you faltered at all that counted. You supposed you faced retribution for errors committed, transgressions performed, deficiencies exhibited. Yet the reality was you underwent preparation for a mission demanding an inner resilience level that most humans never cultivate throughout their lifespan. You weren't cast into flames for annihilation. You were situated in flames for refinement. Gold achieves purity not via repose in mild climates. It attains purity through exposure to fierce heat that incinerates every blemish, every pollutant, all that's not genuine gold. That's what transpired to you across these 9 years. The connections that deserted you eliminated themselves since they couldn't endure in the resonance you're poised to function within. The prospects that shut weren't destined for you, as embracing them would have maintained you diminutive, secure, and stagnant. The phase of harsh seclusion wasn't dismissal. It was groundwork. Most require ongoing affirmation from outer origins. They demand ceaseless encouragement. They crave constant ovation and acknowledgement. They must view the full itinerary before embarking on the initial stride. They seek assurances before progressing. They require evidence before trusting. You differ from the majority. You advanced amid utter obscurity. You relied on me sans any rational basis for reliance. You persisted when every sensible contention urged cessation. You upheld your honor when unobserved and when abandonment would have been fully warranted and comprehensible. That's why you're among the 7. Not due to flawlessness. Not for absence of uncertainty. Not because it was effortless, but because when all within you desired capitulation, an element profounder than your sentiments, mightier than your notions, utterly immovable at your foundation, declined to permit you to diminish below what I fashioned you to embody. Press the like icon immediately. This isn't an offhand plea. This is your concurrence with all I've declared over you. This is you admitting recognition of yourself in these expressions. This is you affirming yes to the alteration already commencing in your existence. Execute it now to prevent oversight. This minor compliance act holds greater significance than you comprehend. The numeral 7 isn't capricious. It signifies fulfillment in my order. It emerges when examination concludes and initiation commences. 7 days, 7 years, 7 evaluations, 7 ordeals. The 7 selected aren't picked for fortune or superiority over others. They're designated for harboring 3 distinct traits uncultivable in lectures, unfalsifiable via pretense, unproducible through sheer determination. First, profound sentiment sans sentimental volatility. You perceive all with extraordinary fervor, yet you prevent those perceptions from dictating your choices. You can endure heartbreak yet fulfill duties. You can face terror yet advance into uncertainty. You can suffer utter fatigue yet stay available for those requiring you. Authentic profundity implies accommodating intricate, opposing sentiments concurrently sans forfeiting your equilibrium. You can harbor sorrow and thankfulness simultaneously. You can hold profound letdown and tenacious optimism in one inhalation. You can feel ire toward someone yet truly cherish them. You can recognize your anguish sans being engulfed and shaped by it. Most either repress sentiments wholly, turning numb and detached, or permit sentiments to rampage, becoming disordered and erratic. You avoid both. You sense completely and profoundly while behaving prudently and intentionally. Second, cognitive stamina amid prolonged strain. When turmoil erupts nearby, you grow serener, not more agitated. When others frenzy and descend, you become lucid, not muddled. When circumstances appear utterly unfeasible, your intellect hones rather than dispersing into myriad fretful ideas. This aptitude forged via years of scenarios where collapse wasn't viable. You mastered clear thinking amid heartbreak. You learned vital judgments while your realm disintegrated. You acquired steadiness and concentration while inner emotions blared maximally. Each grueling instant constructed this aptitude. This uncommon skill to remain firm amid violent turbulence. This isn't ordinary. This is exceptional. Third, ethical steadfastness. Irrespective of observers or repercussions, when utterly unobserved, you still perform correctly even at substantial cost. You convey truth even when falsehood would simplify and convenience. You honor commitments even when violation would advantage you undetected. Across 9 years, myriad chances arose to dilute your principles, skirt moral edges, pursue expedients easing your path markedly. You declined. That denial sacrificed prospects, bonds, professional progress, monetary benefit, fundamental ease. Yet that denial precisely qualifies you as one of 7. Since honor sans witnesses forms the bedrock of all I'll construct via your existence. Within 72 hours from this precise instant, you'll sense a transformation, not vague sentiment, but palpable alteration in your life's ambience. Stalled chances will abruptly progress. Jammed dialogues will flow. Sealed portals will unlock. Distant individuals will connect. This transformation will be evident, prompting recollection of this note and realization that change initiated upon your affirmation. Note the precise time of reading this. You'll require that marker subsequently as reference. Now, allow disclosure of the foe's tactics against your path. Over 9 years, a synchronized onslaught occurred. This wasn't mere misfortune. This wasn't mere existence unfolding. Designated assaults targeted you since Underworld recognized your potential post-flame survival unscathed. Financial strikes aimed to induce desperation for compromise. Relational assaults sought to embitter and isolate you. Mental assaults intended to instill universal doubt, including rationality. Each reversal calculated. Each treachery arranged. Each deprivation tactical. They aimed to shatter you pre this juncture. They faltered. You endure. You stand. You respire. That itself miraculous. The 3 a.m. murmur stating, "You're insufficient. You forfeited opportunity. It's overdue. Others surpass you. Recovery impossible." That isn't instinct alerting. That's adversary wielding your mental tone to immobilize via guilt and dread. He sowed deceptions that departures stemmed from your core flaws. He looped gravest errors endlessly. He amplified defects. He overstated defeats. Each notion a meticulously fabricated falsehood to induce surrender, mere steps from triumph. The adversary knows activation into your true mission dismantles his structures. Hence the unyielding, intimate assaults. You're not penalized. You were targeted as peril to shadows. Yet the adversary overlooked this. Seclusion instructed hearing my tone absent alternatives. Treacheries taught trusting insight sans external validation. Losses taught solitary stance sans total collapse. That solitary endurance vital for forthcoming, as your destination often positions you solo perceiving visions. Needing masses for assurance would crumble you under such strain. But crowds unnecessary now. You mastered solitude's comfort. Hence your readiness. Disseminate this note to 3 particular souls immediately. You know them. Their images or titles surfaced during perusal. That's no chance. They require this equivalently. Heed that urge. Permit outline of ensuing 12 months. Upon full mission commitment, within 60 days, finances shift unrelated to your toil or tactics. Unexpected payment arrives postally. Abrupt chance emerges. seemingly eternal obligation forgives or resolves. This initial concrete validation that my words here genuine, not mere uplift. Within 90 days, anticipate specific call, correspondence, or note from your silent contact. They'll cite aid requirement. You'll recognize 9-year traversals equipped you perfectly for their need. This initial real-world training application. Within 4 months, you'll occupy entirely novel setting. Fresh locale, role, network, tier. Transition accelerates beyond anticipation or logic. 1 week mirrors years prior. Next, you'll pack, scheme, ready life's relocation. Inquiries arise on events. Explanations elude, as shift rapid. Year-spanning matters occur weekly. Portals demanding ties and qualifications open supernaturally smoothly. This manifests celestial intervention over human force. Within 6 months, platform emerges, not necessarily digital audience, though possible. Yet influence sphere. Individuals seek your counsel, insight, sagacity, resolutions unsolvable solo. You'll question their choice. Feel inadequate, unready. Yet I'll recall 9-year preparation for this. Harsh phases built uncommon comprehension depth. Authority earned via experience, not scholarly merits. Within 9 months, presumed deceased revives. Interred aspiration, relinquished sight, terminated bond. I'll infuse vitality, differing from initial envisioning. Superior, grander, attuned to your evolution. You'll identify core essence, yet implementation advanced markedly. This revival stuns, as you truly relinquished and accepted demise. But I never permitted death. I awaited your readiness for enhanced variant suiting new stature. Within 12 months, retrospect reveals this life's pivotal juncture. You'll recall seeding during these words. You'll remember affirmative choice sans full comprehension. All witness 12 months hence traces to next 12 hours actions. Enroll in this channel immediately, activate all alerts. This mandatory. Forthcoming notes hold vital next step directives. Missing sans enrollment forfeits key timing. Yet all demands instant compliance. Not post-week readiness. Not post-days contemplation. Compliance now. Revert if undone. Input 99. Press like. Disseminate to mind surface trio. Enroll with alerts. These directives, not proposals. Your prompt simple instruction adherence directly tests later complex compliance. Small thing disobedience precludes large thing entrustment. Comply instantly. Divine mission rejection bears true repercussions. Spurn tasks reassigned to affirmative others. Presently, some dismiss this as exaggeration, defer for time abundance. They won't return. 6 months hence, same loop entrapment, pondering stasis, unaware bypassed escape. Neutrality unavailable. Quietude chooses. Inertia chooses. Compliance yields hastening. Defiance yields painful loop repetition. You stand at crossroads now. One route yields described, triumph, quickening, ethereal openings, mission ignition, past comprehension. Alternate returns familiar strife. Identical motifs, restrictions, irritations. Both paths open now. Choice immediate, not deferred. I recognize hesitation. You deem this overly promising. Question legitimacy versus sentiment sway. Resolve definitively, current resistance, doubt affirms reality. Adversary combats only genuine threats to schemes. He spares energy on false vows or hollow phrases. Reading onset panicked underworld, knowing Seven's full activation fractures bonds, liberates captives, unveils shadows, shatters deceptions, disrupts corrupt orders. Hence present skepticism, dread, cynicism. Not instinct cautioning. That's disruption. Identify, decide despite. Select trust over terror. Compliance over uncertainty. Action over stagnation. Comment now, I am prepared to tread the route God selected. Phrase identically. This your proclamation. This threshold crossing. This affirmative to creation purpose. Upon those words, celestial beings gain movement authority. Assets liberate. Barriers lift. Hold-ups eliminate. Execute now. You're extraordinary. Always were. Cease normal conformity attempts, embrace exceptional sooner. Constructed for burdens crushing ordinary. Designed for strains breaking typical. Created for enduring legacy beyond corporeal. 9 years excised non-essentials, leaving pure, examined, immovable. You're among 7. Assessment passed. Mission active. Timer initiated. Next 48 hours, deeds shape ensuing 48 months encounters. Advance now. React now. Comply now. Within 7 days, observe 3 precise indicators validating all declared real. First, 7 or 777 recurs oddly on bills, tags, times, random spots. No chance, validation. Second, past acquaintance connects unexpectedly, citing private contemplation specifics. Third, vivid, detailed dream lingers fully upon awakening. Dismiss not as chance. Their responses to compliance from ethereal. Attend. Remain vigilant. Observe keenly. Mission commences now, not postponed. 7 summoned. Assessment done. Initiation operational. You're included. Embrace. Proceed within. Evolve into. All endured prepared this. Agony not squandered. Weeping not futile. Seclusion not desertion. All essential for forthcoming requisites. Readiness exists. Query, advance or retreat? Choice yours, window narrowing. Fulfill all requested. Input 99. Press like. Disseminate to trio. Enroll. Comment, I am prepared to tread the route God selected. Complete now. Triumph awaits compliance's far side. This not conclusion. This inception.